Welcome to This Week in MTG with your hosts Matt Olson, JB, and Danny Oakstad.
Hello and welcome, Magic folk, to episode number 72 of This Week in MTG, your aggregate news source for all things Magic the Gathering. We are your hosts. I am Matt Olson. Over there, we have Danny Oakstead.
What's up?
And over there, we have JB.
What's up?
We're going back to the normal routine of not making it backwards of introductions. Normal, typical format, guys.
Finally.
Figured y'all would appreciate that. But with that, we got a news episode for y'all. As always, before we start off the news, let's talk about our amazing sponsor, J-Dub Sports Cards and Gaming, located in the West Acres Mall in Fargo, North Dakota. They have so much Magic product there, everything that you're going to need. They have your Jumpstart, they have your Commander Legends, they have your Zendikar, they got Keldheim pre-orders going on at the moment. Not only can you get Magic cards, but you can get their mats, their sleeves, their dice, their deck boxes, and if that's stuff that doesn't cross your fancy, they also have sports cards and Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They have everything. But don't worry, if you don't live in the FM area, J-Dubs ships all across the United States. If you live across the pond, hit them up. They'll work out something special with you. And finally, they help you get your cards graded through PSA and Beckett. So, links in the description down below for that. And this is a really fast introduction compared to usual. Let's talk about that breakdown. We're going to pass it off to JB in the beginning here with the Boggle Desk. We're going to talk about the league weekend results and upcoming events. We do have a banned and a restricted announcement that Danny will lead off. Then more updates on in-store play, Black Lotus selling for more than you think, CFB making some mergers, and then closing off with some Keldheim talk there. Then discuss the finance, and then a deck of the week. Then y'all can go home and enjoy the rest of your week.
God, that was really fast. I was really hoping for a little more time there.
Well, y'all weren't contributing.
So efficient, Matt.
Y'all weren't contributing to any pre-breakdown shenanigans like typical. So it's kind of hard to deviate off, and it's like, let's do the sponsor read. There's nothing in there to be like, yeah, nah, we're not going to do the sponsor read just yet. We have to deviate off the path, and then Danny has to wrangle us up again.
Well, see, I got you to deviate a little bit.
Yeah, but the good thing is like it was such a clean break at the end of that breakdown to the event results that this part is most likely going to get snipped out then. Pending how long the episode becomes.
See, I was waiting on Danny to pop in with some random sound effects.
Got to download the MP3s.
I'm trying to figure out how to get all my sound effects over to the soundboard.
Oh, okay. So it'll be like halfway through the episode, and we'll get spammed.
Continuously spammed.
There you go.
Basically.
On the machine!
He got it fucking added.
Got
of
him.
course it has to be the first one he gets.
Right?
Oh my god, I swear, if we gotta pay royalties to Bert Kreischer now, just because of you, Danny.
He'll probably think it's just hilarious.
I hope so. He'll be on the Joe Rogan Experience talking. It's like, yeah, these nerds from like North Dakota are just using my sound bites, and it's like the most hilarious thing ever. That was my bad Bert Kreischer impression. I'm surprised that you haven't watched Bert Kreischer there, fucking JB.
I can still laugh at you making a fool out of yourself.
You know, maybe that's what we got to do. We got to get a video night going on here again, like we did for Halloween, and it's going to be a Bert Kreischer marathon.
Could do that.
Would you be down?
Maybe.
Making it live here, folks. We're gonna set this up. Probably, should we do it like in a couple weeks, sometime in February?
Sure. Fucking crickets.
God damn it! We gave Danny the keys to the dungeon. And we all are descending into madness now. He's embodying an embodiment, imbuing. He is imbuing his inner morning radio talk show host with the soundboard. Now we just need the boing, woo, 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 air horn shit.
Or a fart noise.
Oh, God, don't give him that idea. Oh, JB.
I can only have four sound bites.
What?
Unless you get a pro, huh?
Yeah, unless I actually pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna pay for it.
No.
He's gonna do it.
How much is paying for it? Because maybe that could fall under the budget of This Week in MTG.
There you go.
I have to find it again. Where was it? So it's actually not bad. Lifetime is only $29.
Fuck.
Done.
I got a lifetime membership at the Blarney Stone for $20.
So do I.
Worth it. And this, you just get fucking a soundboard
Right?
that Danny will gladly abuse all the time now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's usually $39, but apparently they have limited offer for the next 47 minutes. It's 25% off.
I feel like that's just like one of those initial things. It's like, hey, you just signed up for this, get lifetime for this price, and it's just how they get their $20 more often than not. Like, no one's going to be buying that for 30. It's like
Otherwise it's $9 for 3 months and $15 for a year.
some of that fucking pricing is goofy as fuck because
yeah.
they're like, yeah, we'll make it clearly bad deals, and we'll make you buy the deals that we want you to be getting.
Well, yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't.
If it works, it works, and it's shown that it works.
I found the fart button.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm not gonna play it though. Anyway,
You're gonna
weren't
wait
you
for the
start-
opportune moment.
Start the show.
where-
Oh, yeah, I was. So, we had a league weekend this last weekend. And we had the Pro League and the Rivals League playing. Rivals League was on Saturday. Pro League was on Sunday. Both were historic format. I'm not sure who the overall winner was of the Rivals League, but Paulo Vitor Fuck off, Danny. Paulo Vitor Damadorosa
There we go.
took first overall to solidify his first place Pro League standings. The Pro League standings are as follows so far. First place is PVDDR. Second place is Gabriel Nassif. There's a tie for third between Brad Nelson and Seth Manfield. A tie for fifth between Martin Yuza and Andre Strasky. Seventh place is Jean Emmanuel Dupraz. And there's a three-way tie for eighth between Andrea Mangucci, Marcio Carvalho, and Reed Duke. Now, on to the Rivals League. Holy shit, how do I zoom in?
Control and scroll wheel up.
No. It's not making the picture bigger. It's making everything else but the picture bigger. Okay, I think I can read that. I just gotta get really close. It's getting really, really close. Okay, so the Rivals League standings. We have Stanislav Sivka in first place. We have a three-way tie for second place with Eli Cassis, Matt Sperling, and Zachary Keene. Three-way tie for fifth place with Bernardo Santos, Luis Scott Vargas, and Christian Hauk. And a tie for eighth place between Corey Burkhart and Luca Magni. And that's pretty much it for our past event results. There really wasn't too terribly much going on. That was the big highlight, the big woohoo. So on to our upcoming events. First up, we have an F&M at home this week is going to be Omniscience.
That was not supposed to be there.
I figured as much.
So the F&M at home this week is going to be Omniscience. then I'm assuming it's going to be an Fuck, words are hard. I'm assuming it's going to be an omniscience draft.
No, Omniscience is the one where you don't pay mana for anything.
Oh, okay. So it's
you just
the
get
event.
3 cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the
They
event.
supply you with the deck.
Okay. And then we have some random MTGO events going on throughout the week. It looks like we have the Spotlight Cube Teamer Series Teamer Cube going on until, well, the end of Wednesday, which is probably the day you'll listen to this. And then we have Vintage Masters Flashbacks starting on Wednesday the 20th, and it goes through Thursday the 28th. This is all on MTGO. We also have some super qualifiers happening all week. As of day of recording, Monday today, Modern Super Qualifier. Tuesday is Pioneer Super Qualifier. Wednesday is Standard Super Qualifier. Thursday is Legacy. Friday is Modern. Saturday is Pauper. And Sunday is Vintage. So if you're interested in playing some Super Qualifiers, go ham. Have fun. Let us know how you did.
Yeah, send us those informations.
Send us the winning screenshots. Something.
There we go.
And with that, I think that'll do it for our events here. So I guess we'll pass it on over to Danny and see if we have any BNRs this week.
Well, we don't have a BNR from this week, but last week on the 14th, Ian Duke by Magic.Wizards.com posted a ban restriction announcement that is going to be affecting Pauper. Fall from Favor is banned, effective as of the 14th of last week. So if you've played Pauper, you already know about this. But they go in and what's the word I'm looking for? They went into the reasoning behind the ban. So this is the reason behind it as follows. Magic Online League data and tournament results from the Pauper format have shown that the recent addition of Fall from Favor is having an adverse effect on the metagame. Serving as both a creature removal tool and a card advantage engine, Fall from Favor pushes out aggressive creature decks and places too much emphasis on a player becoming and remaining the monarch before opposing decks can prepare counterplay. To create more space in the metagame for aggressive punish slower decks and reduce the importance of the monarch mechanic early in the game, Fall from Favor is banned in Pauper. They go on and state, we are aware that there's a continued community discussion around other aspects of the metagame, including, but not limited to, the role of Tron, other monarch-based strategies, and blue aggro. However, we want to take action to address Fall from Favor's impact on the environment prior to the upcoming Magic Online Qualified Tournament on January 23rd. We'll continue to watch the evolution of the environment through the event and beyond, and we'll make further adjustments as necessary based on play data, tournament results, and community feedback. So yeah, we finally get a ban restriction that doesn't really affect many people, because how many people play Pauper other than the pros?
I mean, no one in our group, around here that I can think of off the top of my head would play Pauper, but there's Pauper players out there, clearly. I know the professor's a big advocate of Pauper, and a lot of the time he is talking about it, so,
Yeah. I suppose this is an easy way of getting people, because it's still a 60-card deck?
Yep, 60 cards.
Yeah,
it's all commons.
Yeah, it's probably a little easier for those who are starting to understand it or get into the game
And
playing Pauper.
And it's a pretty budget-friendly format.
Yeah, so. But anyway, moving along, we'll go to the blog talk of the week. So this week we actually have 2. I know last week we had a few. So this week I'd say, hey, we'll just go to 2 this time. So first off, we have from Zachary C927. Yeah, say Mark, I'm loving these new gods from Kelheim. Can you share with us how many gods are in Kelheim? I'm wondering if there will be 3 of each color, since the previews have shown us 3 black ones so far. Mark replies back, there are 12 gods in Kelheim. Which would make sense, 1 from each tribe or region. Plus 2 randoms, I guess. Because, yeah, there's, 10 different realms. So each realm has their god.
Right.
And then...
we know all the gods as of today.
Yeah, the last red one was announced.
Yep. So there's two red gods, 2 blue gods, 2 black gods, 3 questioning Volky with the back being a planeswalker. I think maybe that's the thing, is like there's 3 multicolors, because Volky turns over to a Rakdos one, Eska turns over to a multicolored one, Jorn, God of Winter, turns over to a multicolored one. So 2 black, 2 blue, 1 green, 2 white. Yeah. 2 blue, 2 white, 2 black, 2 red, and then 1 green and 3 multi on the back at least. But the one is mono black, 2 are mono green on the front, and it's on the back where they're the multicolor. So I don't know.
Makes sense. And the second blog talk of the week comes from Kirko99. He asked, or they asked, you said very few of the cards you design get printed as you design them. Does the fact that no one gets to play with all these cards you put so much work into upset you in any way? Mark replies back, I've designed thousands of Magic cards. These days, I'm more focused on the bigger picture. Making something like Throne of Eldraine or Strixhaven happen is what excites me now.
Should we be nervous if Strixhaven it excites Mark Rosewater the way that Throne of Eldraine might have? And we know how Throne of Eldraine turned out. Multiple cards banned and a very format. Cool cards, though. I mean, mechanically wise, you can't deny the fact Throne was a really good set.
Yeah, Throne introduced a few chaotic abilities.
Like Broco.
That was just a broken card to begin with. But you gotta remember, though, it's been... maybe... Yeah, I suppose Strixhaven would have been... a couple years after they started making Throne? Like, actually... Because what's the process? Is it a 10-year process before it gets out, or is it a 5-year process?
If I'm not mistaken, they try and plan things out 5 years in advance set-wise. So, like, right now, their cards that they're working on go up to 2026.
Okay.
Like, they know, they have a rough idea. Like, it's not all set in stone, but it's like, this is what this is getting worked on right now at that point. I don't know if, at least that's according to a drive to work a while ago, I recall. Things could have changed due to COVID. Maybe they don't see that far into the future anymore or whatever, but they see a little bit into the future.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's the blog tags of the week. Moving along to the news. We go back to Matt.
Well, we have an update on in-store play. It's not going to be an update everybody likes to hear, but according to the WPN.Wizards.com website, monthly in-store play update as of January 2021. So, January 13th, the in-store play suspension in North America, LATAM, Europe, and Japan will remain in place and expand to Africa. In addition to the extension in these regions, we've made the following changes to the in-store play suspension. After closely monitoring the state of the pandemic and above all, considering the safety of the community, we've made the difficult decision to place in-store play under suspension in Africa. The next update will come February 10th. Remote play events remain available in Wizards Event Reporter and Event Link, but any live events scheduled will be automatically canceled and removed from the store and event locator. We recommend WPN members host remote events, whether via Magic Arena, Magic Online, or webcam. You guys can visit their guide to do that through their event link to get started. They lifted restrictions around organizers taking admission fees for event runs on Magic Arena and Magic Online. We have increased the maximum entry fee to both Arena and Online to $25. So that's the maximum. And finally, Wizards will continue to monitor the situation and update WPN members on the second Wednesday of each month. There you have it. We're not going to find anything else in next month now about if in-store play will be happening. You know, we get closer, better chances. Vaccines are rolling out.
That's true. Discord's help. I think Discord's helped the LGSs actually get some money coming in through gameplay.
Oh, for sure. You got places like J-Dubs hosting their weekend league events.
Magic players are nerds, so they will find a way to feed their addiction of nerdiness. And the person-to-person, or at least person-to-computer, computer-to-person interaction with cards.
Right.
Magic Arena can only do so much. You miss that human connection.
Right. And
the witty banter.
Yeah.
The flipping of the tables.
Yes, the flipping of the tables.
You cause a little more damage if you flip your computer desk.
Just a little bit.
Than just having cardboard fall to the ground, hopefully, in a nice, okay manner.
Wasn't there a cardboard crack comic about him flipping the computer?
Yeah, yep. There was a cardboard crack one about him flipping the computer. But after that WPN update, JB has some news for us about a Black Lotus, a different one from last week.
Yup. We have up for grabs on an eBay auction is a PSA 10 signed Alpha Black Lotus.
Who's it signed by?
The artist, Christopher Rush. And it's only one of 7 known Black Lotuses with a PSA Gem Mint 10 grade.
Where's your soundboard effect for a whistle there, Danny?
Right?
I don't have it.
There's your whistle. God,
because I only have 4 sound bites I can use at a time.
So yeah,
and mine are more hilarity than anything else.
Right. So the card is being sold by top trading card retailer PWCC on behalf of the card's owner, David Edwards. The auction will run on eBay for 10 days from January 17th to January 27th. And it looks like he owns DM's Alpha set on the PSA registry. It's a complete set of graded Alpha cards where only 32 cards are not graded at Gem Mint 10. And many are the top or only graded Gem Mint 10 in existence. He has been an avid collector of PSA 10 graded Alpha Magic cards for the past 13 years. This guy's got some money.
Probably not happy with all those cards moving up in price they have been the last couple of years.
Well, unless he is happy about it because he's already got them.
I mean, fair, yeah. But I imagine he's still trying to find the 32 not Gem Mint in his collection.
Right. Well, maybe that's why he's selling this Black Lotus, so he can get the money to get the other Gem Mint ones.
Ooh, very true.
Because doesn't he have another one of these Black Lotuses?
He has 2 Gem Mint 10 Black Lotuses. Both of them are signed.
Oh, yep, right here in the article. He's got a picture of them side by side.
Yep.
Yes.
Got them signed back in 2014. He bought these in 2008.
Yep, got them signed at GP Chicago.
And it is authenticated because Rush posted it on his own blog that he signed those. So the rest of this article has some questions and stuff. The reason why he's selling this, which is kind of interesting, is a quote from Edwards here. I was a kid that spent my childhood playing Magic every free moment, and then spent every dollar I made in my 20s buying all the cards I could never manage to acquire as a child. It has been a wonderful 13 years being able to cherish this card, but after you have a few kids, it becomes less about you and more about them. I've had my fun and nostalgia out of owning it. Hopefully selling it will allow me to create new memories and enjoy life a little more with my 3 young children, and college isn't getting any cheaper. If I'm lucky, the timing is right for a new record sale. PSA Pokemon cards have been on fire, and many people believe cryptocurrency rally in 2017 fed back into Magic cards. Have read an article on that.
He's clearly going to set the record, because currently at 8:09 Central Time, it's sitting at $658,100 on eBay. This is the current bid.
Do we think that this thing is going to top 1 million?
Yes, I do.
I feel it's going to get
close.
It'll
be close. I think it'll be close. I feel like it'll probably settle somewhere between the 8 and 9.
Ooh. Yeah, I was expecting more around like upper 9s. Like it's going to get, if it gets to the upper 9s, like what's stopping it from getting to 1 million? So yeah, maybe you are right, JB. Maybe 8 to 9. But damn,
we got 9 days before bidding closes, and it's already at six and a half or $650,000 in literally 12 hours. So
we'll try to keep you guys updated on that as it goes on, I guess.
But yeah, as we stated, it was to bid on this, you have to be pre-approved by PWCC. Because earlier today I was looking at it, and it was actually up to $860,000, $830,000, and literally within the next 10 minutes, fresh at every single time, it literally dropped down to 658. My guess is because people are not getting authenticated, and they just took those bids off. So, yeah, you just can't go in there and select and just go it up just to have fun. And if you are, don't do it. Don't be that person.
Don't be an asshole. So now my question is, okay, this guy signed these things.
Yep.
Did he sign the slab at least?
Yeah, he signed the slab. He signed the plastic.
Okay, good. I was like, he didn't crack the damn thing open to fucking sign the card. No, he sealed it back up, right?
So no, the guy brought these already graded.
Okay, so he
just
signed this slab. Okay, good.
Yeah, because if you look at the picture of them being signed,
I was gonna say it looked like it was up.
Yeah, because it's permanent marker, and if it were on the card, the permanent marker wouldn't be like thinning out.
Right.
So
that's what I was wondering. I just wanted to make sure, because I was like, oh my god, please don't tell me he opened it up to sign the card and closed it back up.
No, he David had bought these graded already. Back in, was it 2008? Last time they were for sale. So, but yeah, he'll definitely have some extra money. That's for sure.
Right?
Yeah, he's going to be able to make good memories with his kids.
Yeah, retire.
Let's do a quick search here.
For what?
I'm curious here.
For what?
I'm curious.
What?
JB's doing a live search?
Yes, JB's doing a live search.
You know how to use Google?
Don't break her head.
Okay, how far back does MTG stocks go?
I think it only goes back to 2013.
Okay, so let's go back as far as Magic stocks goes. So imagine this: back in 2013, he bought it in 08. As far back as MTG stocks go, average market price of an Alpha Black Lotus is $6,227.
Weren't those the days?
So just imagine what he might have paid for it back in 08. Now look at what it's selling for now. Imagine the return on this damn thing.
Two of them.
The amount of profit this guy is going to make on this single card. Ridiculous.
Yep.
Okay, so you factor in a couple years worth of price increase, whatever, between 2008 and 2013. So you figure, okay, the average in 2013 is probably what he would have paid for a gem mint in 2008. So let's just figure somewhere between the 6,000 to 8,000 range is what he paid for it.
Right,
Just look at the percentage. Even if this thing sells for the 250,000 record, even if it doesn't break the record, look at the percentage of return this guy is going to make on this card.
Yeah, no, the what is that, like 15,000%, 12,000, not 12,000, 1,200% or something like that. God, yeah, 1,200 or 1,500%.
Hold on. Okay, so 8,000 times 1,000%. Shit. 8,000 times 1,000. No, it's not going to be 1,000%.
That's not. Damn.
1,000% would be 8 million.
So,
no, that can't be right. Because 100%. Okay, so 100. How the fuck do you find above percentages? So
this week in math.
Because 100% of 8,000 would be 16,000.
Yes.
So I don't. Okay, so I won't add the zeros in. That's what
it's 100%. If it gets up to 800,000.
No, that would be 1,000%.
It'd be more than that.
Because if 100% is 16,000.
This week in math.
Right? This week in math.
I went to M-Town. Don't
right?
But anyways, let's move along.
Fucking unicorn is possessed. Just randomly started singing on me. I did not. My ass is not that big.
Anyway. Hipsters of the Coast has announced that Channel Fireball merges with BinderPOS to launch online collectibles marketplace. In an article brought to you by David McCoy, Channel Fireball announced today that it has merged with BinderPOS, a company that makes point-of-sale software designed for game stores, to form CFB Group. The new company is planning to launch a new online collectibles marketplace called the Channel Fireball Marketplace. How original. Sometime in the second quarter of 2021. The Channel Fireball Marketplace will launch with support from Magic the Gathering as well as Pokemon and Flesh and Blood. Through support of other games in the works, the marketplace will be limited to the United States for now and will allow retailers to sell cards from the supported games for a flat 8.95% fee. Retailers will be required to have a legally registered business to use the platform, meaning that peer-to-peer sales will not be allowed. While the BinderPOS membership will not be required, BinderPOS customers will receive a discount and their inventory will automatically sync to the online market. Channel Fireball, for its part, will rebrand its existing e-commerce operation to Fireball X and transition it to the Channel Fireball Marketplace when service launches. Sports Stars of Sports, the business entity behind Channel Fireball, was founded in 1993 as a sports card realtor. I grew over time to sell games like Magic and launched channelfireball.com in 2009, which grew to include successful e-commerce content and esports ventures. BinderPOS, on the other hand, began operating as point-of-sale software to new customers in 2019 and has grown its roster to around 400 today. As part of the merger, BinderPOS CEO Joshua Grant will become the CEO of CFB Group, while Channel Fireball CEO John Sasso will serve as the chairman. Grant told ICV2 that the newly combined company would seek its formal Series A funding this year. End of article.
So this is going to be exciting to see how this turns out. A couple bits of information from the official article announcement on icv2.com. First off, before I go into that, I've never heard of BinderPOS, but I'm assuming it's because, we're not retailers that had to think about something like this. But their software has around 200 retailers using it between US and Canada. And that's big enough of a move that Channel Fireball wanted to work with them. Let's see. They offer integrations through Shopify to Google Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, Instagram selling, and Amazon. And they will be integrating with eBay in the coming weeks as well, and moving away from the Shopify structure because of this.
Solid.
This is kind of exciting. I mean, I don't know what to think of it. I'm not a big brain retailer, I guess, but the merging of two companies like this, since Channel Fireball lost a lot of in-game events, moving to online was one of their big things, and I think that they succeeded successfully moving over to online events, doing the CFB Pro showdowns, and they launched CFB Pro during COVID and stuff to help make more of an online presence, and then also hosting the Commander Online events as well.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't know, comparatively, I think Channel Fireball has really good online experience, and integrating with BinderPOS is going to be good for everybody. But I don't know. I'm not a person that's in that realm, but well, I think we've had enough of that kind of talk. How about some new Keldheim talk?
Sure.
So, boy, do we have a lot of new stuff. We got the rest of the gods announced. So all 12 gods have been announced. A new set of lands that has been fully revealed as well. I really like all these lands. It's new mythics, new sagas, all got announced in the time of last week as well. So who wants to take it away with some cards here?
Me. So, first up is another new mythic called Starnheim Unleashed. 2 generic, white, you get a sorcery. Create a 4/4 white angel warrior creature token with flying and vigilance. If this spell was foretold, create X of those tokens instead, and the foretell cost is XX white.
Solid.
Right.
And the art is very wonderful on this card.
Yes, it is.
got
Especially the borderless. Oh my god.
So I shared this card between us three earlier today. It got released today. But we have Doomscar. It's a white 3 sorcery, destroy all creatures. So basically Wrath of God.
Yeah, for 3 mana.
But with a kicker. It has foretell. For white 1, cast foretell, turn 3, turn 4, or turn 4 on, you have Wrath of God for whenever you wanted to play it. For 2.
This thing is going to be bonkers. Seeing it in insert whatever format you want.
Yup.
Actually, I mean, you can have this thing on turn 3.
Nope.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, you could.
Turn
to
2
foretell it, you pay 2 mana.
But
to put it
here's
down.
the thing, though.
And then the foretell cost is 3, so you can turn 3 board wipe if you need to.
Well, I suppose, yeah, turn 3 you could. You just can't play it the same turn you played, or you
Exactly.
foretell it. So.
Yep.
Correct.
But yeah, I kind of want to see that one in foil, just because the art is pretty sweet.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, I'm excited for this card, but then I think about it, and I'm like, this is another thing that frickin' blue-white control gets.
Yeah.
Like, this is dumb. Like, now you're just enabling blue-white control. Now they have a better Supreme Verdict. They can just lay out there over your head whenever, like, whatever. Hey, look at this. I got a 3-mana board wipe. Oh, I'm going to foretell this card.
Can I talk about the potential follow-up to that board wipe?
Sure.
In blue-white control?
No. Don't give our control players ideas.
Yes.
Ascendant Spirit. A single blue for a 1/1 snow creature spirit. It has snow. You pay any snow mana. Ascendant Spirit becomes a spirit warrior with base power and toughness 2/3. Another activated ability of snow. If Ascendant Spirit is a warrior, put a flying counter on it and it becomes a spirit warrior angel with base power toughness 4/4. And then it has snow. If Ascendant Spirit is an angel, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and it gains, when this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If I'm not mistaken with that last activation, you can activate that multiple times, not only to put counters on it, but I think it also... Oh, but it doesn't retain it. Never mind. So yeah, you just keep putting more counters on it, and you can draw cards when it deals damage. So this would be a good follow-up. Turn 4 board wipe. Turn 4 Doom Scar. Then with your extra blue mana left open, you cast Ascendant Spirit.
Right? Dumb. Stupid. So you know what else got spoiled? We got a rune card spoiled.
Ooh, yeah. JB's all about these rune cards right now.
So far, this is the only rune. And we are at what? Like 261 out of 285 right now? So far spoiled?
Yeah.
Live. 264. 264 out of 285. And we've only had one rune card spoiled.
Yep.
And it's a blue one. So hopefully, this last dump of spoiled cards, we get a bunch of rune cards. Because this has my hopes up. So we got Rune of Flight. For 1 and a blue, you get an enchantment or a rune. You enchant permanent. When Rune of Flight enters the battlefield, draw a card. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it has flying. As long as enchanted permanent is an equipment, it has equipped creature has flying. So now, the reason this excites me, it's blue. Okay, it's not something that I would play in Boggles, but it gives me hope that the other runes are going to be similarly costed and maybe have similar effects. Therefore, they might be playable in Boggles.
I mean, if this is the set to have something for Boggles, now that they announced that Rune is an enchantment, I mean, I don't see why not.
I mean, this could easily be played in Bant Boggles, which is an accessible form of Boggles. It's just I don't like splashing for blue. I think it's just a little too crazy of a mana base, but it is possible.
It's just dual lands. Your land will just go up in price, but wouldn't be too hard to get it.
Well, no, because they run Force of Negations and stuff too, so there's a big price hike.
Force of Negation.
If you want.
But no, it gives me hope for what these rune cards are going to be for the rest of the colors.
So a card I'm I don't know if I would say I'm excited about, but it's a notable card for people that I guess want to pay attention or want snow synergies. We got a functional reprint of a card called Scrying Sheets. I'll read Scrying Sheets first. This is not the card that we were talking about, but Scrying Sheets is a card that was printed in Cold Snap. It's a snow land that taps to add a colorless to your mana pool, and then you pay generic snow, tap, look at the top card of your library. If that card is a snow, you may reveal it and put it in your hand. So the reprint of it is Frost Augur, a single blue snow creature human wizard, 1/2. It has snow tap. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a snow card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand.
Solid card.
So a little more mana efficient, but it's on a body, so it's more vulnerable. But this is important because Scrying Sheets, since Keldheim got announced, it's now $25.
Right, and I saw somebody post in one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook where they got in and they pre-bought a bunch of Scrying Sheets for like $12 or $13 a piece. And they were hoping that they would spike because of snow and Kaldheim. Well, they got it at the right damn time because now with Scrying Sheets, what, like $30?
Market price, according to MTG Stocks, is $24. The average price is $29. So, I mean, people are selling it higher than what people are buying it at, but it's not too far off to believe, between $24 and $30 is what people have been buying scrying sheets for.
The dude that got in at $12.13, he's making $10 on card.
Right?
Selling it for market value.
Foils are $81 right now.
Oof.
But I just wanted to point that out for people who want to make a snow deck. You now have your scrying sheets, which is scrying sheets is a valuable thing for snow. We got a bunch of snow, frost auger. It's blue, so that's the downside. It goes in blue snow decks, blue X snow decks and stuff, just so you can have frost auger, but I don't know. Pointing that one out.
So I'm excited about this new white god. Redain, God of the Worthy. For 2 and white, you get a legendary creature god. It's a 2/3 with flying and vigilance. Snow lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. Non-creature spells your opponents cast with converted mana cost 4 or greater cost 2 more to cast. Then on the backside, because it's a modal double face card, backside is Volkmira Protector Shield. For 3 and a white, you get a legendary artifact. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage to you or a permanent you control, prevent 1 of that damage. Whenever you or another permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless its controller pays 1. And it's only a rare.
This is super cool because it's like multiple different taxes in one card.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of prevent all but 1 damage effects in white, but solely on a card by itself with that ability. And this gives you it and then a taxing effect as well on the back half. And the front half's not bad either.
The showcase art is sick.
God, yeah. No, all the showcase art. Home runs with the showcase art, no matter what.
Right?
But one thing with Redain is I really hope this isn't the quote-unquote snow hate card that we were told was coming our way in Kaldheim here. Because if it's snowlands, your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped to slow them down a turn. That seems kind of weak sauce.
Right.
But who am I? Maybe having the snow enter in tapped is actually going to be just enough of an advantage for you to overcome your opponent's snow deck.
Is Danny going to talk about his awesome green card yet?
Which one's that?
The enchantment.
Oh, I suppose we didn't talk about that because that came out.
Yep, came out after. I was just scrolling up and I saw it and I was like, oh, Danny's got to take this one.
I guess I can. So, green enchantment in search of greatness. It's green. For enchantment, obviously, it's a rare. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell from your hand with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the highest converted mana cost among other permanents you control without paying its mana cost. If you don't, scry 1. So yeah, turn 3, you could hope you have something else out, play it for free.
Well, you're always going to be casting You're always going to be casting a 1-drop from your hand if you have it, or you're going to be scrying, because it says plus the highest converted mana cost among other permanents. Lands are permanents. They have a CMC 0. So you get your Land of War elves or Arbor elves in for free. Or let's do a quick standard search here and see if there's any CMC equal to 1. What are the 1-drops in the set? Oh my god, you can get an Ascendant Spirit for free on turn 3. You can get a Battlefield Raptor, a 1-drop 1/2 bird, first strike flying in for free.
There's endless things you can do in Commander with it.
Yeah, for sure in Commander.
Wait, okay, hey, hold on. What are you talking about now here? For getting something, it's not cheaper.
No, you get to cast it for free.
Yeah.
The 1-drop.
How are you going to get an Ascendant? How are you going to get a 1-drop for free on turn 3?
Because it's a 1-drop. 1 plus the highest CMC.
1 plus the highest converted mana cost among other permanents you control.
Other permanents are land, JB.
If you have nothing else.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you're saying.
But if you don't,
lands are free.
Yeah, but if you don't have any 1-drop in hand, then you are going to scry.
Right. That seems really risky, though, if you're going to keep a hand with no other permanents and just this.
No, it's not that. It's the fact that if you were to have this turn 2 and all your stuff is 3 or higher in your hand, that's why you'd keep it. It's
right, but that's just taking turn 1 and 2 off just seems like a really, really, really bad.
Who says you're taking turn 1 and 2 off? Like, you could still cast something turn 1 and then get a 2-drop on turn 3 for free as well.
Yeah, there's people will break it.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying they're not gonna, but it's like, I don't know. Like, it definitely has its drawbacks.
I don't think it has any real drawbacks, because even scrying one, like, people love...
Yeah, it gets you through your stuff.
People love Thassa, God of the Sea, OG Thassa, 2 and a blue, upkeep you scry card. This is the exact same thing with that, but it has the other upside of you can play things for free. For free in green. JB, I think you are definitely undercutting this card. Let's see.
Green doesn't need any more damn love.
I mean, yeah, we're only at greens, but it's happening right now. People are buying this card. According to Scryfall, you can get it for $13.63. People are pre-selling this for $13.
White is like the redheaded stepchild in Magic. It's about time it gets some damn love and gets let out of the cupboard.
But just acknowledge the fact, In Search of Greatness is probably going to be making it in Tier 1 decks and Standard, Historic, and I don't know. I think Modern is going to want this as well, too. Like,
I could see Pioneer over Modern.
I'm thinking right now, like, Ponza, right? Like, you're dropping, maybe not Ponza, because, I mean, turn 3, you get a free Ren and 6, because it's like turn 1 Arbor Elf, turn 2 this, I guess, or turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, turn 2 this, turn 3 Ren and 6 for free, and then cast whatever else you want, sack, get more lands. Doesn't seem too bad in my opinion. Or even
but the thing is,
Uro style decks.
Wouldn't you rather have your Ren and 6 on turn 2? That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, yeah, you're putting yourself behind to get stuff for free.
Yeah, but the payoff is greater, because on turn 3 you're getting a free 2-drop and you got 3 more mana to spend. On turn 3 you effectively have 5 mana at your that you just use that turn.
I'm still on the fence about it.
JB, you will see. Okay, how about this? I know this is probably not going to work in Boggles, but I'm just going to point it out here now. If you have a Boggle out that's enchanted with Ethereal Armor, you can cast a Daybreak Coronet on it for free and then save mana, making more mana efficiency. I know that's not a thing that Boggles wants, but I'm just saying there's a possibility for that as well.
Because just no.
Okay. Can I bring up another card that I was questioning you for the rack?
No.
Skull Raid. 3 and a black, it's a common sorcery. Target opponent discards 2 cards. If fewer than 2 cards were discarded this way, you draw cards equal to the difference. And it has Foretell of black and a 1. Now, with this, if your opponent has no cards in hand, it's essentially a black 4 mana, draw 2 cards, or Foretell for 2 mana, 2 mana, draw 2 cards. If your opponent has no cards in hand. Or even, like, your 2 mana, make him discard 2 cards. Or discard a card, you draw a card. The fact that you have the chance to go up a card, I'm not saying this is like a 4 of maybe in a rack deck, but I think it should be looked at in a rack deck to give you that card advantage, that extra reach that you would want. And the fact that you can be pitching this to Foretell and not have to worry about discarding it yourself.
It's too slow. Even with Foretell, it's too slow. You're spending that mana. That 2 mana can be invested in other ways. Even every single rack group that I'm in is saying, oh, hell no to this. They were all excited at first when they first started reading it, and then they looked at it and they're like, no, just ain't going to work. It's just too slow. Even foretelling it, it's too slow. You're taking 2 mana that you could wrench mind and take 2 cards instead of, oh, hey, I'm going to just pay this off and then pay another wrench mind. So you essentially could get 2 wrench minds for the cost of this card. You could be discarding 4 cards instead of 2 cards.
Or you could be drawing 2 cards, which could get you...
You have Castle Lochthwain for that.
Yeah, just a Castle Lochthwain to be drawing cards. I don't know. I'm not a Rack player, but I think that there's possibilities for this.
The thing is, Rack also doesn't want lots of cards in hand. You have Ensnaring Bridge. That's your safety net.
Yeah, but what do you do if you don't get to your Ensnaring Bridge?
Oh, you're going to get Ensnaring Bridge.
Well, it's a card I enjoyed, and I like it.
It's got potential, but it's just too slow. It's just too slow for that deck, especially because what are you going to take out? Anything you take out is going to be better than this.
Any other cards y'all want to talk about, or?
We got Cosmos Elixir, 4-mana artifact. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card if your life total is greater than your starting life total. Otherwise, you gain 2 life.
Does this go in Soul Sisters?
Could be anything. I mean,
it's 4 mana for modern. 4 mana in Soul Sisters does seem pretty aggressive, but in like any EDH deck,
Commander.
EDH is going to love this
Commander,
thing. So Tybalt's Trickery, red 1, instant, counter target spell. You hear that? Counter target spell. Choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Its controller mills that many cards, then exiles cards from the top of their libraries until they exile a non-land card with a different name than that spell. They may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then they put the exiled cards at the bottom of their library in a random order. This card has a deck getting brewed around online and has put up results in cockatrice goldfishing plays and things like that, where you can like get the cards from Keldheim and playtest with them. And this is in a Jund Cascade style deck where you cast Emrakul on turn 3 80% of the time, according to numbers done by mathematician extraordinaire Frank Karsten. So what typically happens is you cast one of those 3-drop Cascade spells. Oh, man. And the Cascade trigger goes on the stack. And you cast that spell. How are you supposed to counter it? I can't remember the order of countering it, but I'll find the link. I'll put it in the description below. The deck looks very dirty. The consistency that it has is stupid. And for sure, decks that are going to be doing this is not going to be a flash in the pan. It has potential.
All right, so next up, we have a card that is going to slot into my current standard deck that I'm playing on Arena.
You're playing Arena, JB?
And I'm sure it's going to go elsewhere too, if anybody who knows me. So we have Righteous Valkyrie for 2 and a white. You get a 2/4 Angel Cleric. It's got flying. Whenever another Angel or Cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. As long as you have at least 7 life more than your starting life total, creatures you control get +2/+2. This is going to slot perfectly into my Cleric deck.
This is a card that slots very well into Soul Sisters as well, because I'm pretty sure most of them are Clerics. But I mean, the fact that you're gaining life and the second effect of giving all your creatures +2/+2 is pretty good.
Right?
7 more life than your starting total is not that hard of a requirement for decks like that.
No, it is not.
And in your Cleric deck, correct me if I'm wrong, Bishop of Wings, that's a Cleric, right?
Bishop of Wings is no longer standard legal.
Oh, is it not? Damn.
Nope. M20 rotated out, bro.
Thought it was an M21. Thank God. But you have things like all the new Clerics that you got from Zendikar Rising.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be getting more Clerics from Dungeons and Dragons coming out this summer.
Yep. And Veto is standard legal.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Cleric.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, Veto does work.
I do enjoy Veto in that mono black deck that I'm still running. That was brought up a couple weeks prior by a listener of the show, Oh No. But that's all the Keldheim talk I think we're going to do tonight. Let us run through the finance super quick. As always, the finance section is brought to us by the fabulous mtgstocks.com, where they have their weekly winners article that they come out with every Friday that talks about 3 to 5 cards that have moved up in price and 3 to 5 cards that have moved down in price that is noteworthy for you as a Magic player to be worried about. First up, we have Riss the Exiled. For green 2, Riss the Exiled is a legendary creature elf warrior that reads, whenever Riss the Exiled attacks, you gain a life for each elf you control. And then it has black, sack an elf, regenerate Riss the Exiled. It's a 3/2 from Morningtide. The card has jumped up 523%, now is sitting at $23. This card was originally like $3, not just a couple days ago, but due to the recent showing of black-green elves as the way for elves to be going, like this is a pretty solid elf commander plugin, making a bunch of elves and black, like you're getting a bunch of black green elves in Keldheim, so that's why this is moving up in price. Those that like that, keep an eye out. So they write their article, MTG Stocks writes their article on Friday. We record our episodes on Monday, so prices may have changed since then, and we will let you know if that is the case. Right now, the market price on Riss the Exiled is $8. Catching up what it was prior. Again, it was under $3. It's now moving up to $8. You can find them on Card Kingdom. Oh, probably all sold out on Card Kingdom. Yep, on Card Kingdom, all sold out. So you can only buy on TCG Player, which are selling them for $17. Next up, in the weekly winners, we have Pox. From 5th edition, it is black sorcery. Each player loses a third of their life and discards a third of their cards in hand, then sacrifices a third of creatures they control, and then sacrifices a third of their lands they control, round up each time. Oh my god. It has seen a 79% increase, now sitting at $7.13 as of Friday. But today you can find them for about $4. There is another printing from Ice Age that is a wee bit cheaper. But Pox has moved up in price due to another card from Keldheim, Turgid, God of Fright, the sacrifice god. We didn't read this one, but this is one of the other gods. It's black 3/4/5 legendary god menace. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control.
Now this is a card that I would try and jam and rack over that Skull Raid.
Turgid?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, because of the back as well. Since it's a god, it has a flip. It has a flip on it, and the flip is a Turgid's Lantern, black 3 legendary artifact. Tap. Target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card, and then it has 3 and a black. Untap Turgid's Lantern. Yeah, this won't be bad in rack. But the reason for the 5th edition Pox to be moving up is predicated on the printing of this card, and sack and discard effects are becoming to the front of everybody's mind. And then finally, we have Astronaut's Altar, the version from Antiquities, which is 3 and a black. You has the activated ability of sack a creature, add colorless to your mana pool. This card has moved up 144%, up to $69.80. So it seems that Astronaut's Altar is the rise of it is in a similar vein, but different in a few. Astronaut's Altar sees play and is getting reprints. It has a Chronicles reprint and an Infinite set for deflating a lot of value back in the day, and that's the reason why it's getting mentioned here. Apparently, the investment in older cards is now also driving up prices of cards that are getting played and are seeing reprints. And in sack-style decks and getting mana doesn't seem too far off. People want the older version to, I don't know, make a statement piece in their deck. But from there, JB, you want to take it away with some cheap pickups?
Gladly. So first up, we have a card that I personally hate. We have Vendilion Click from Masters 25, sitting at $9.90. Record low and under $10 for the first time. Vendilion Click is 1 blue for 3/1 legendary fairy wizard with flash and flying. And when Vendilion Click enters the battlefield, look at target player's hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do, that player reveals the chosen card, puts it on the bottom of his or her library, then draws a card. This thing has been used against me one too many times.
And it pairs very well with Narset.
Yes, by Matt.
I like this card.
Of course you do. You sick bastard. So next up, we have a couple double Masters cards. We have Riku of 2 Reflections, sitting at $6.55, record low and bottomed out. Riku of 2 Reflections is 2 generic, green, blue, and a red for a legendary human wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may pay blue-red. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay green-blue. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature.
A powerful commander that was super expensive at one point, but now becoming available for everybody to get again.
Right? And then last but not least, we have Batterskull coming out of Double Masters, sitting at $8.13, record low and trending down. 5 generic. You get an artifact equipment with living weapon. Equipped creature gets +4/+4 and has vigilance and lifelink. You can pay 3 to return Batterskull to its owner's hand and equip for 5.
If you guys are interested in picking up any of these cards at their current price, or if you're patient enough and want them to go cheaper, check out TCG Sniper, an amazing website resource where you enter in cards, set a desired price, and you get notified when cards get brought to that desired price, whether it be more or less. If you go over there and mention that the guys at This Week in MTG sent you, you will get 3 months of TCG Sniper Plus. But from there, we have a deck of the week to talk about.
Okay, so we have a modern deck called Badzan, built by Antoine 57437. This is on Moxfield, and it looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's an Aether Vial deck with Coco. Who doesn't like that pairing? And it's also got a little bit of a Blink style in there too.
Really tickles JB's fancy with that.
Yes, it did. And it's in my favorite colors, so I mean, it gets bonus. So first up in our creature package, we have 2 Birds of Paradise, standard mana dork. Next up, we have 4 Eternal Witnesses, 1 green for 2/1. You get, when he enters the battlefield, he returns a target card from your graveyard to your hand. So that'll come into play later. Then you got 4 Flicker Wisps, 1 white for 3/1 elemental flying. When it enters the battlefield, exile another target permanent. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. 4 Giver of Runes for protection. For a single white, you get a 1/2 core cleric. Another target creature you can tap. Another target creature you control gains protection from colorless or from the color of your choice until end of turn, which is key. Can give you protection from Walking Ballista.
Important.
Very important. Next up, we have 3 Knight of the White Orchids. White, you get a 2/2 human knight with first strike. When Knight of the White Orchid enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more lands than you, you may search your library for a Plains card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Just some extra mana ramp there. Never hurts. Next up, we have 2 Scavenging Oozes. Another card that I'm pretty high on. Love this card. For a generic and a green, you get a 2/2 Ooze with an activated ability of green, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and you gain 1 life. Sometimes it's always important. You can pick things out of people's graveyard. You can buff your own creature if you want.
Sorry.
What?
You can take an Uro.
Yes.
With the Scavenging Ooze.
Scavenging Ooze also picks apart Dredge pretty good. Just saying. I've done it a couple times.
Or any Snapcaster dot deck.
Yup. And then next up, we have a little bit of removal staple to a creature with Skyclave Apparition. There's 4 of them. 1 white. You get a 2/2 Core Spirit. When Skyclave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less. When Skyclave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exile card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token, where X is the converted mana cost of the exile card.
One of the newest modern powerhouses of cards have been printed.
Love that card. So fun. And next up, we have 4 Tidehollow Scullers. For white and a black, you get a 2/2 zombie artifact creature. When Tidehollow Sculler enters the batter... Entals. When it enters. When Tidehollow Sculler enters... Too many fucking
Good
L's
job.
in this shit. Oh my god. Future Matt. Holy fuck. God damn, words are hard today.
You're getting
Okay. When Tidehollow Sculler enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand, and you choose a non-land card from it. Exile that card. When Tidehollow Sculler leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. And you got 2 Wall of Omens, 1 in a white. You get a 0/4 Wall with Defender. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. And then rounding out the creatures, you have 2 Wasteland Stranglers. For 2 in a black, you get a 3/2 Eldrazi Processor with Devoid. And when Wasteland Strangler enters the battlefield, you may put a card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. So yeah, it's pretty creature-packed. But they all have some pretty good ETB abilities.
I like the interaction Wasteland Strangler has with Tidehollow Sculler, Skyclave Apparition, and Scavenging Ooze.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't like that?
Pick off those prowess creatures.
Right.
Or at least weaken them, you know? Then, this deck has 4 collected companies. Green 3, instant. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put 2 creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. It's 4 of those and 4 Ephemerates. Single white, instant, exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control and it has rebound. If you cast this spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. And then it closes off with 4 Ether Vials. 1 drop artifact, beginning of your upkeep, put a charge counter. You may put a charge counter on it. Tap. You may put a creature with CMC equal to the number of charge counters on Aether Vial from your hand to the battlefield. Yeah, this is just drop down creatures, get some very beneficial ETBs. Ramp with Knight of the White Orchid, draw cards with Wall of Omens, and then return your spells, exile your opponent's board, and then just do it all over again with your flicker effects like Flicker Wisp, Ephemerates, and then you can just drop a bunch of them in with a collected company.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Now, in the sideboard here, JB, maybe you can answer this a little better. Why is there 3 Magus of the Moon, red 2, 2/2, Human Wizard, non-basic lands or mountains, and a single Sacred Foundry.
I'm thinking the Sacred Foundry so you can hard cast the Magus.
Right. Worst comes to worst, hard cast it.
Worst comes to worst. Otherwise, you're going to be wanting to vial it in.
Or Coco in it in.
Yep. Because it does hit off Coco.
I guess, it's just bizarre to have that there.
I mean, why not? You got an Aether Vial.
Yeah, you
also have a basic forest, so you could Coco.
Very true. Very true.
I mean, it'll as long as they don't counter it, it'll fuck up control decks.
I mean, you're not wrong on that either.
You vial it in, unless they have a counter activated ability.
And you could get it back with E-Witness.
Yep. I mean, I like it. It's spicy.
This deck does look good. Clearly, they have...
rounding out the sideboard, you got 3 Auriok Champions, because why not? You get white for a 1/1 human cleric. It's got protection from black and from red. When another creature enters the battlefield, you may gain 1 life. And it's got a singleton Gadok Teague. Green-white, you get a 2/2 Kithkin Advisor. Non-creature spells with converted mana cost 4 or greater can't be cast. Yes, I see you, Cryptic Command. Non-creature spells with X in their mana cost can't be cast. Then it's got a single Guy's Blessing, I'm assuming for Mill.
Mill's been around a lot since Zendikar Rising, so it makes sense.
So it's definitely good to hedge your bets against Mill. We got 2 Kaya Orzhov Usurpers, 1 white-black. You get a legendary Kaya Planeswalker, comes in with 3 loyalty. +1, you can exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. You gain 2 life if at least 1 creature card was exiled this way. -1, exile target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 1 or less. And a -5, Kaya Orzhov Usurper deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards that player owns in exile, and you gain that much life. So it's just another way to push the exiling up a couple notches.
And if you get to that ult, it's not bad because you're putting things into exile.
Right. And we already covered Magus of the Moon. And then we got 2 Phyrexian Revokers, which is always a solid card. For 2 generic, you get a 2/1 Artifact Creature Horror. As Phyrexian Revoker enters the battlefield, choose a non-land card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated. It's good to note that this hits... Nope, never mind. It doesn't hit lands.
Pithing Needle is the one that would hit lands.
There's another one that I think that does.
The only thing...
But no, this one hits a lot of shit.
Yeah. But you can hit this off of a Coco, or you can vial it in response to something. Yep. So that's what makes this better than a Pithing Needle. In this build, per se.
Yep. No, Phyrexian Revoker's good. I'm working on picking up a couple copies for myself. I think I've got 1 or 2 already. And then the last card we have is another favorite of mine, especially for, matchups like humans or other things. You got Plague Engineer. For 2 and a black, you get a 2/2 carrier creature with Death Touch. As Plague Engineer enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type your opponents control get -1/-1. It's definitely a good board sweeper.
It's definitely a solid sideboard to interact with most matchups here.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kaya takes care of your Uro-style decks and your snappy kind of decks that are casting things from the graveyard. Megas domes anything that's not red. This deck looks super fun. I mean, with the premise of, ramping a little bit and then just like bouncing everything. Removing your opponent's non-land permanents with Skyclave Apparition. Skyclave Apparition is just like a house of a card.
So, question is, more options. Duplicate? Is that what I want to do?
Are you copying it over to yours?
Yeah, I want to copy it so I can build it later.
Wow, you really like this deck, JB.
Yeah.
Easiest would be more options, just export.
Okay, I was gonna say either export or duplicate, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
But let it be known that this deck in paper costs $667. Big majority of the price is from those Aether Vials. A place out of that is $130. And of course, the land section, always expensive, has 4 Marsh Flats, and that's $134 for that fetch land. So it's like, you find another replacement for Aether Vial, which would be really hard to do. I don't think this deck would operate as good without Aether Vial, so that would be kind of hard. But you could work around the mana base and shave off probably $200 from the fetch lands.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can easily... I mean, this deck should still work with a budget mana base.
Right. But yeah, I do feel that the Aether Vials are needed. What would you do in place of the Aether? This is what you do in place of the Aether Vial. You put in Search of Greatness, that green enchantment from Keldheim. There we go.
Look at this guy.
I mean, I can see it being like a good analog to that.
There we go. I duplicated it.
There you have it, folks. JB finds this deck to be really good. So if you are interested in this, we have links in the description down below for you to look it up, copy it, and run it through. See how you like it. But y'all, made it to an end of another episode. How do y'all feel? Clearly dead.
Yep. I'm tired.
Thank you, Magic Folk, for making it to the end of episode number 72 of This Week in MTG. You guys are all legendary for doing so. Go follow us on Facebook, Twitter. We post news articles and stuff there as well. And just keep up to date with the Keldheim spoilers on those sites. We also have a Discord. And in the Discord, we do the same thing, post news there, but you have a more one-on-one contact with each one of us. Unfortunately, JB doesn't know how to use Twitter or Facebook really. So you want to talk to him about this new Abzan deck, hit him up on the Discord, join that, links in the description down below as well. If you guys have comments, questions, concerns, you can hit us up on any of those platforms, but you can also send us an email at thisweekinmtg@gmail.com. We really appreciate feedback of any kind. We are striving to be your guys' aggregate news source for all things Magic the Gathering. And before we go, make sure to send some love over to JDub Sports Cards and Gaming for sponsoring us. It's a big deal. 3 schmucks with microphones getting a sponsor is really cool. Now, if you guys have anything else to say?
Nope. I'm good.
Oh, I'm good too.
With that, we'll catch you all next week.
See ya.